Hey everyone, Biofan here. The new DLC trailer for Dragon Age Inquisition The Descent contains many hidden items of interest you may not have noticed. Let's take a look at some of the not so easily noticed details from the trailer. If you've yet to watch the trailer, please go do so now and then come back. Don't worry, I'll wait for you to return. Let's start with these two seemingly new characters. The two don't resemble any dwarven characters we've seen before, but let's take a look and see what we can tell about them. Given that they both can escort the party and seem to help us in combat, I'm guessing they're most likely tag-along NPCs, similar to how Hawk and a Grey Warden character accompanied you during the Fade story arc of Inquisition. It's technically possible, given aesthetic trailer editing, that one or both of them are actually temporary companions. BioWare has stated that our core 9 would be our only permanent-ish companions in Inquisition, but this doesn't mean there couldn't be a temporary companion for a DLC similar to Talus in Mark of the Assassin for Dragon Age 2. Throughout the trailer, the two are either seen together with the party, just the male dwarf with the party, just the female dwarf with the party, or neither. Either the two are encountered at different points in the DLC, split up from the party at one point, or this is just aesthetic trailer magic. Here's everything we know about them from their appearance. They both have similar skin tones and hair color, so it's possible they're related. They're both dwarven warriors, the male being a two-hander, and the female uses a sword and shield. In the trailer, the female dwarf wears armor that resembles the in-game Carta armor, and at other times she also sports the Legion of the Dead armor that is also able to be acquired in-game. There are a few different possibilities to explain this switch up. Her armor could change for story-related reasons. She's a temporary companion for the Descent DLC and you can change her armor, or the armor changes purely for trailer appearance purposes, and what they wear should just totally be disregarded altogether. Let's also note that these two armor varieties are some of the only dwarf-specific options in Inquisition, so they could be present only to not match the Inquisitor's main look. The male dwarf also wears the Legion of the Dead armor. Now let's talk about where these two dwarves may be from. Kalsharok is a dwarven city we've yet to see in the games and is visible on the Inquisition map. Kalsharok is even involved with the Inquisition via war table missions. However, the Legion of the Dead armor may be a determiner that these dwarves are not from Kalsharok. Kalsharok has its own separate version of the Legion of the Dead called Rock Knockers. Given that the two military forces have separate origins and cultures, they would very likely wear different armor. Therefore, these two are probably not from Kalsharok. The facial tattoo on the male dwarf is a selectable option for the Dwarf Inquisitor in the character creator. The Dwarven Inquisitor background is a surface dwarf, but only a few Dwarven tattoo options have lore significance that we know of, such as a castless Bran or the Legion of the Dead style. Given that the male dwarf's tattoo isn't a Legion of the Dead tattoo, I'm going to have to rule out their involvement with them as a possibility. I don't think these two were involved with the Carta either, given that the Legion of the Dead armor doesn't resemble that enemy faction's heavy armor at all. But let's also keep in mind that the armors they wear may just be a stylistic placeholder. Now we're left with two probable options. Either these two dwarves could be from Orzammar, or they could be your normal, everyday, probably non-Carta, run-of-the-mill surface dwarves. Though if they were surface dwarves, they would, according to lore, never have visited Orzammar, as surface dwarves who visit Orzammar on business are branded with castless tattoos. Now let's move on to some other details from the trailer you may have missed. The Deep Roads area we are exploring appears to be multi-level, given doorways, elevators, and walkways on various heights. There's some sort of device before the entrance to the area where we first see Darkspawn in the trailer. I think this is likely a lever to open the bars that can be seen ajar during the trailer. Are you tired of all those gigantic chunks of red lyrium all over the place? Longing for some lyrium variety? Well, good news! Blue lyrium is making a gigantic comeback in the Descent DLC, and may have significant story involvement as well. These dwarven-statured characters have some very unique details to their appearance. Their armor and weapons appear to be infused with lyrium. Given that their skin tone appears greenish-grayish, I think they're likely Darkspawn. The pointy bits on their armor also resemble the Darkspawn armor style. There are also these two never-before-seen symbols on their armor I thought I would point out as well. That doesn't sound like something mindless beasts would be capable of, which makes me think they may be Disciple Darkspawn, similar to those we've seen in the Dragon Age Origins Awakening expansion. Disciple Darkspawn are intelligent beings created through a similar process to the Grey Warden joining ritual, but using Grey Warden blood. So, this could mean that the Architect, a mysterious intelligent Darkspawn who created the first Disciples, could be making an appearance in the Descent DLC, if alive. We'll just have to wait and see. During this battle scene, the Inquisitor uses an ability that doesn't resemble any spells available in the game to date. It's green and fadey and repels enemies away from the area it's cast. So could this DLC contain a new ability for the Inquisitor, similar to how we acquired Aegis of the Rift in Jaws of Hakon? Let's also keep in mind that literal trailer magic could also be at play here. For a brief second, we see a completely unique area of the Deep Roads, entirely underground, with walkways, trees, hills or mountains, fog, lyrium, and an area to get close and possibly access the lyrium? Deep Road's flora has mainly been mushrooms, considering there isn't enough sunlight for much to grow. So could the lyrium, which Bianca tells us is alive, be providing the flora with nutrition or life? In this next scene, we see the party, accompanied by the female dwarf character, fighting an ogre in the rain. Either this is outside, or the flora-filled area of the Deep Roads is so highly advanced as an ecosystem that rain and lightning can be produced. Also in this scene, there are two doors on either side of the canyon. The DLC can be played as soon as you reach Skyhold, and can also be played during the post-game. So, yes, you can bring Solus with you. He's even in the trailer. The Shriek Darkspawn is making a return, and there's most definitely more than one of them. In the final scene of the trailer, the Inquisitor approaches a large creature. Now, before we get into what it is, let's note that in its surroundings, blue lyrium is constructed into the dwarven architecture. The large creature greatly resembles the rock wraiths from Dragon Age 2. Rock wraiths are supposedly the souls of ancient dwarves who were so corrupt that the stone rejected them from passing on after death. Rock wraiths are nourished by lyrium, which gives them a connection to the Fade, and therefore susceptibility to demonic possession. Well, that's everything for this round of Hidden Gems. If you'd like to know more about the Descent DLC, watch my Descent news coverage video by clicking the video on the screen or the link in the description. For more Dragon Age and BioWare related videos, be sure to subscribe to my channel by clicking the big blinking subscribe button coming up shortly. For instant Dragon Age and BioWare news, feel free to follow me on Twitter or my new Tumblr, links to which can be found in the description.